Hey guys, it's Maggie. So I'm gonna say right away, this video, sorry, I got a cat. This video is gonna be really dark. But it's also gonna have a decent happy ending-ish thing, I guess. Like, I don't know. This is gonna have triggers. Some people might get triggered by this. So yeah. Okay, I'm just really nervous about making this video. Okay, so I'll just get right to it. So, a year ago, I tried to take my own life. And I'm gonna share my story about what's happened since then. And I'm gonna say right away, I'm not gonna say anyone's names who's in the story unless they did good. If you know who these people are, I don't want any backlash towards them because whatever happened between them and me does not define their personality. So, like, everyone makes mistakes. I've made mistakes. Just no one backlash anyone, please. Like, this video is supposed to be for good. Anywho. So, this video is gonna be about what happened since my, attempt. And I wasn't actually sure if I was gonna make this video, but I feel, just like in the first one, this is for people who have been through it, and they need to know it does get better, and there are gonna be trials, and things are gonna be hard, but it's going to get better. Like, you guys need to know that. Yeah, so I'm gonna start with the first week after it happened. I went back to school, and I tried going to a in-school therapist, who, by the way, happens to be my best friend's boyfriend's mom, which is so weird. Anywho, she did not match my personality whatsoever, and that's not her fault, that's just me. So that wasn't working out, and there were so many rumors going around school. People had thought I went crazy. Others thought what happened. Other people knew what happened. Others just thought I was trying to kill someone else. Like, it was just not okay. So that was very difficult for me. So I had dropped out of school. And during that time, I got into a relationship with a person I'm not going to say the name of. Which was a really bad idea because I was very emotionally damaged at the time, and so was he. And that does not combine. You should really let yourself heal from things before you get into another relationship, because it's gonna be hell. Yeah, so that started, and I was love struck, and it was pretty good for the first month or so. And we ended up going with my parents to a church that I wanted to go to because this thing called History Maker, which I made a video about years ago, someone had spoken at History Maker while I was there, and he had made a church here. And I was like, that is sick, and I'd been wanting to go to it forever. And finally we did. And while I was there, everyone was so nice. And, I'm sorry, my cat's being insane. Her name's Tim Tam, by the way. And this one guy, I can't remember his name, but I remember the face so well. He came up to us, and he asked my boyfriend at the time what he was gonna do after he graduated. And, he answered with, like, automotive and blah, 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 blah. And then he asked me, and I was like, I'm not in school. What do I say? Does this make me look bad? What do I do? And then I just was like, oh, well, I plan on going to Bible college, which was my plan before I dropped out. And then all of a sudden I was like, wait, I want to go to Bible college. Like, I just was like, the realization of, wait, I still want to do this. Like, I need to go back to school. And so a week or so later, I went back to school. And of course, there were still rumors, and I did not have a whole lot of friends. I did have the friends I had before, which I love them. They're amazing. But a lot of people gave me bad looks. A lot of people knew who I was. A lot of people were steering clear of me because they knew I was damaged. So I didn't have a lot of people, and that's okay because I don't need a lot of people. But what bothered me was so many people were just still talking about what happened, and it was like it went across my province. I'm not kidding. Like, rumors about me went all the way like to the Annapolis Valley, which is really far. Like, one of my cousins found out from there, and I'm like, who is talking about this in the Annapolis Valley? Like, what the frick? Like, anywho, rumors were bad. I was trying really hard to ignore them. They still go around. A lot of people, like, everyone in my school knows what happened. And then I started going to a different therapist in my school. She was so sweet. She is sweet. I love her. She was really great, and she helped me a lot. And I ended up going to boxing afterwards because why not? That was so off topic. But I started going to boxing, and that was where I let out all my rage. And during this time, my relationship was getting worse and worse and more controlling on his part. But because of the way he was treating me, I think at times I was trying to control him too. But again, it, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it was really emotionally bad for me. He always blamed stuff on his anxiety. He would always get mad at me for being sad, I guess, or not telling him why I was sad. And then when I did, he'd be mad about it, and he'd be upset about it. And I always just felt so trapped. And I wasn't allowed to hang out with other guys alone. I wasn't allowed to do my body paint because it showed everything else. I wasn't allowed to post pictures of my bikini. I wasn't allowed to wear low shirts. I was not allowed to show the back of my bra through an open back shirt. And there were so many things, and I had become like, this is how I feel. He probably didn't feel the same way, but this is how I felt, okay? I felt like property. And because I loved him, which honestly, I don't think I loved him. I think I loved the idea of being loved at the time. But I didn't want to lose him. So I just accepted that I was his property. That's all I was. I was his toy. I did what he said. I was his. My life didn't matter anymore. I was his. So I went to a psychiatrist finally, and I was diagnosed with PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, which, if you don't know what it is, look it up, because I don't really know the definition, but in my mind, it's like you went through something traumatic or multiple things traumatic, and it doesn't leave you, and you get flashbacks, you get panic attacks, you get depressed, you have nightmares like crazy. It's bad. Yeah. So, and I started taking Zoloft because I need that. It's an antidepressant, by the way. Anywho, the relationship. I'm sorry, I'm just like, I haven't let all of this out yet. Anywho, like, it was really bad, and then something happened in the relationship really bad. I'm not gonna say, and no one assume what it is, because you're probably wrong. And again, I don't want backlash towards this person, okay? None. Like, anywho, it was just really confining, and I had to spend all my time with him. Like, I rarely got any time just me. Like, very rarely. Like, it was always me and him. And if I couldn't hang out one day, he'd be so upset. And if I didn't go to school one day because I was feeling sick or had a wicked sunburn like I did and I could not walk, he would be so mad. And he would say he wasn't, but you knew he was. Anywho, then summer. And I went to Calgary to spend time with my sister. And I've never said this to her, but hopefully she watches this and sees. But while I was with her, it was very eye-opening. And I talked to her a lot about my relationship. And she told me over and over again, leave him. And I would always defend him. Because in my mind, he hadn't done anything wrong. Like, I had convinced myself there was nothing wrong. It was fine. It was just me the problem. I was the problem. That's how I felt. And she kept telling me, no, like, you need to leave this guy. And I kept, like, I would get frustrated with her. I was like, no, I don't. Like, he's a good guy. And by the way, while I was there, he wanted to FaceTime every single freaking night, even if I was working until freaking 10 p.m. or something, or I was busy until 10 p.m., or I wasn't allowed to, like, go out because I was legal in Calgary. He did not want me to go out drinking with my sister. Or my best friend. I got to see my best friend while I was there, which was amazing. Josh, I love you. Anywho, and I met his Priya. They're engaged. Yeah, I'm excited about that. Anywho, and then my sister brought me to her church, which is Calgary Life Church. I'm gonna say it because it's a good church. And while I was there, I got to reconnect with God, and I was being reminded of that I wasn't alone and I was something, because God loves me and he has a plan for me that's not with this guy. And while I was there, I was like, I love this. I love being in this church. Like, this is amazing. This is where I feel free. And then finally I was hanging out with my best friend for a night, and I started talking to him. I poured out everything. I told him everything, and he told me that I was better than this and I could get away. And I was like, I know I can. Like, at this point, I realized I'm so much better off, and I can be a person. Like, I am a person. Like, I'm not just someone's property. And he was like, you need to leave this guy. And I was like, I know I do, but I was so scared. Like, I'm being honest. Like, he might watch us and be like, that's bullcrap. But no, I'm serious. I was terrified of him. Like, I can't express enough how scared I was of him. And it was so difficult. And Josh was like, you need to leave this guy. And I'm like, I know, but I'm just scared. And Josh actually offered to do it for me, and I was like, I would love that, but I feel like this is something I need to gather up the strength to do. And so when I got back, he wanted me to spend that day with him the day after, and in my head, I was terrified. I didn't want to. I did not want to see him. I did not want to go back in that situation. And so I ended up texting him, and I was like, this is not going to work out. And I did so much, and I explained to him why, all of the reasons why. And he kept saying, no, we can work this out, and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no, we can't. Like, finally, we broke up. And then, my nightmares got really bad from PTSD, and my flashbacks got really, really bad. And, I ended up seeing him at boxing one day. And he wanted one last kiss. And I felt so small because I couldn't say no. I almost broke down crying right there. Like, in that moment, I just felt like I was never going to get out of it. And then a whole lot went down, and he stopped talking to me because of reasons, and it was difficult because my nightmares were horrible. I was terrified all the time. Um, like literally all the time. There wasn't a time when I wasn't scared. Not just of him though, of people. Like I just I felt free but defeated at the same time. Um then my parents. Okay, so when I got back, I was like, what am I gonna do now? I don't have an amazing church to go to because, no offense, Nova Scotia, you don't have a lot of options. um, but then my parents were like, oh no, we found a church. And I was like, what? Like, while I was gone in Calgary. And then they brought me to it. And I love it. And I started talking to the kids ministers, whatever they are, and I was talking to them because I wanted to volunteer to work with the kids. And then we started talking about a youth group, and then all of a sudden we started a youth group. Like, there's a youth group now. And I guess I'm like a co-leader now. I love it. It's very small, but if anyone in Nova Scotia wants to go, please go. It's Encore Youth in Bridgewater by Oak Hill. You need to go. Impact Church. Yeah. Anywho. But that started to really help me because that made me feel like I had a family. And school started, so I was going back to school. I didn't have a whole lot of friends. I had Sierra. That was it. And Paula, my international student, she was my sister. She still is. She was there for me. We talked about girl stuff. We talked about boys. We talked about past stuff. We were there for each other. She really helped me. And then I met a good guy. I'm not going to mention his name because I don't think he'd want me to. But I met a good guy. And he's a really good friend. And, well, we started dating. And it was the absolute best relationship I've ever been in. He made me feel human again, and like I could trust someone, and he made me feel like I was worth something, and that I was strong, and I could be something more than just property. And he encouraged me in everything I did, and he really helped me grow a lot as a person, and he took a lot of weight off of my shoulders, reminding me that I'm not alone, and I am a person, and I can do things, and I'm strong enough to do things. And like you guys know, I have a thing about being weak. I always felt weak. I hate it. But he would always constantly remind me that I was strong. And at times I really don't feel strong. A lot of the time I don't feel strong, but so many people have told me that I'm strong, and I think it's true, even though I don't know if I believe it. But he made me feel really strong, and I love the guy. I do. He's an amazing person. He broke up with me not long ago, which is okay, because if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be, right? Which did really hurt. And it took me a little bit to realize that I don't need to be sad over this, because if he wasn't meant for me, that's okay. But the things he taught me about myself in this relationship is worth so much to me, and I thank him so much for that. Like, it just, I can't explain how much his acts of kindness changed me so much and helped me so much. My PTSD is still really bad, but not as bad as it was a few months ago. It'll take a lot of time for it to heal. But I'm getting better. And the thing is, guys, if you've been through this or going through the motions of wanting to die, you don't need to. Like, things are going to get better. They could get worse, but even after they get worse, they are going to get better. I don't know what I'm doing with my brain. I think I like the way my hair is flowing right now. Yeah, you guys are not alone, and if anyone actually just wants to talk to me about just feelings and stuff, like, I'm here for you, like, and I know your friends and family are too, even though it can be hard to talk about. I'm a person who will keep all your secrets. I do not tell secrets. Also, I would like to say huge thanks to my best friends, Caitlin and Keisha. They have been there for me, same with Josh, this whole time, for a very long time. And I think with Keisha, we've gotten closer throughout this whole thing. And I think that's the one thing I'm really thankful for, even though I hate what happened. I mean, me and Keisha have been close since the beginning, but we've gotten so much closer. And she is so important to me, and I know that even through all this crap, she's always going to be there. Like, in the last video I posted, we got tattoos together. So, yeah. Anywho, if you guys want to watch my first video on the subject, it'll be down below. But this video's purpose is basically to tell you you're not alone. And I know I'm not either. And I know it's gonna get better. And I know I can do this. I know there are gonna be trials and tribulations, but I can do it, and I'm not alone. Yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got something out of it. All my social media will be down below. Like and subscribe. Check out my Instagram because I like Instagram a lot. Tag Sam and Colby in my last video. I need them to see it, please. Anywho, I will see y'all in the next video.